Hi, everybody. My name is Katsy for Access Hollywood, and I am so excited to be joined by the cast of Disney Plus's new film, Clouds. How are you guys today?
Doing very well. Thank you. Thanks for taking the time.
Now, I just watched the movie last night. I wept the entire time. And I just wanted to first start out by asking you, were you guys familiar with this story before you committed to working on this project?
I actually was. I knew Zach's story back in 2013 when Clouds was first blowing up and he was doing all of his news appearances and the documentary was created. I hadn't watched the documentary back in 2013, but I did know the song and I remember I was trying to learn the song because I wanted to cover it, and I was like, I don't know if my voice sounds good singing this. Fast forward to how many years later, like 7 years later, or however long it's been, I got the audition and I reconnected with the song and with Zach's story, and it felt meant to be from the get go. And it was such an honor to be invited into Zach's world and his inspiring legacy.
Yeah. What about you, Neve? Did you know the story beforehand?
I actually wasn't aware of Zach's story, but so grateful to learn about it. When I was sent the script, my team sort of schooled me on who Zach was and who the Soviet family were, and then I read Laura's book, which this movie is based on, and I was so profoundly blown away by Laura's courage and honesty and raw emotion and strength and faith. She's a phenomenal woman, and I was blown away by this family and by Zach, and so excited to be invited to be a part of it, because it's about something, which is very rare when you get a script. Very rarely is it about something that could affect people in a positive way or be inspiring in a positive way or touch people. So yeah, no, I was very grateful to learn Zach's story.
Well, and I understand you mentioned Zach's mother, Laura. I understand that she actually visited the set and that Zach's family got to be a part of this production process. What was it like having this family get to inform the process of making this movie?
It was incredible to have them be a part of the process. I think, we really, really wanted to honor them in an accurate way, and a loving way. And I think it would have been really challenging if we didn't have that support from them. Laura, she was just so open with me about everything. I wasn't, there were at the beginning, I was apprehensive about asking her certain things, wanting to be sensitive toward her. She was like, this is it. This is my story. This is what we went through. This is our family. And there's a reason we're allowing this story to be told. And it's because we want you to know what happened. And so, I would text her, I would call her nights before scenes, and ask her how she felt in these moments in her life. And we would cry together and we would laugh together. And, I learned a great, great deal from her. And I think it was a big thing for them to come to set. There were times it was like a wound getting opened up a little bit, and they knew it was coming. I think it was challenging at times, but at the same time, it was beautiful for them. I know there were times when Finn was on set and they felt like Zach was with them and they needed to hug him and hold him and have a moment with him. And it was pretty beautiful for all of us, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, and while of course I was never able to meet Zach, I feel like I got to know him through all of his family and his friends and learning about their relationship dynamics, and especially playing his music, I feel was kind of a window into his soul and his headspace throughout that final year of his life. And being able to speak with them about their relationship with Zach and just hear what he was like from all of their unique perspectives was really helpful for me to kind of step into some really big shoes to fill. Zach was an incredible, loving, kind young man, and I wanted to do that justice. So having all of them to be able to learn a bit more about their perspective on who Zach was kind of like, it was all these puzzle pieces from all these different people from his life that put together created the Zach that I came to know and eventually play.
Well, and is it true that you even used Zach's real crutches during this movie?
Yeah, not just his crutches, but I was also wearing a lot of his clothes and even his guitar. Like there were Zach's family was incredibly generous with their time and spirit, and as well as their belongings. There are a lot of his actual uh, belongings that are used in the set. The set of his room was almost identical to his actual room. Even the house that you see in our movie is incredibly reminiscent of their actual home. And we got to visit in Minnesota prior to filming. So after being there and having such beautiful, intimate moments, getting to know the family, to then be able to transfer that into such a similar environment was incredibly helpful. It was really easy to tap into those emotions because uh, it almost felt like, oh yeah, this is a safe space. This is where the story took place. So it was strange at times to feel so intimately connected by what using Zach's crutches and wearing his clothes, but it ultimately felt like a shield of sorts, like armor. It was fortifying me for this difficult journey that I had to go on, and we all had to go on as actors, confronting really difficult emotions.
Mhm. Now, speaking of really getting to connect with this material, obviously Justin Baldoni, who of course people know as an actor, and we're finally getting to know him better as a director, he's been with this story now for nearly a decade. What did he bring to the project in helping you to understand Zach's story as someone who was really there to watch it unfold?
Justin originally made his documentary about Zach because he was so moved by Zach's story and became a part of their family, and promised Zach that he would find a larger platform to tell the family's story and to tell his story. And he honored that, which is so incredible that he was able to pull it off. So he felt, so he feels, he knows Zach. Zach's a brother to him, and so he was really able to share with us what he believed to be Zach's energy and spirit, and was able to bring that to the film and sort of teach us how to honor that spirit. Yeah, I mean, I think it's wonderful. Justin is really committed to telling stories about good human beings, and I think we need that right now. So I don't think there could have been someone better for this story.
Was there a lot of pressure that you felt in telling this story, knowing that Zach's family would obviously be watching it and be a part of it, and trying to live up to what an incredible and inspiring story and journey he had?
Yeah, yeah. There was an immense pressure prior to filming, and I've never played a real person before, and also having the added layer of uh, not being able to speak with Zach and say, how do you want to be represented? It's a bit nerve wracking, but the thing that I always come back to is the family was so supportive. All of the Sobiaks were incredibly gracious and opened their arms and opened up their hearts to us and were very vulnerable and led us into these really intimate experiences. And um, it was scary at first, but I think the more I got to know the story, the more I got in touch with Zach's spirit and his family and friends, the more secure I felt. And also the fact that yes, Justin had been friends with him and he had created this documentary, and all of the pieces were there to really tell the story the way that it was meant to be told and do it justice and ask the family, how do you want to be represented? And it it started to alleviate that pressure, especially once we started filming. We got into the groove of it. We got into our creative modes, and the story just kind of held our hand and took us throughout the entire process.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, Now, next, I just wanted to ask you, what is, do you think, the message that you're really hoping that people will get from watching this film? I think so much of the film speaks for itself, and so much of it really allows Zach's own words to come through. But what message do you think that people will get?
Well, I know that, Zach had said you don't need to find out that you're dying to start living. Um, so simple and so beautiful, and so important for us to remember that. Um, just being in the moment, being present, being there for your loved ones, appreciating every moment that you have with them, holding them close, living in joy. Obviously, those are the most important things, and we forget, and it's so easy to forget. But when you hear about stories like Zach's stories, you realize we don't take it for granted. Don't take life for granted. Choose a story that you want to tell, that you can create that story for yourself. And I think that's been really profound for me, as a mom, especially, just holding my boys close to me every single day, and not taking it for granted. And Laura also, she shared something with me that was so profound. She said, honestly, my relationship with Zach is stronger now than even when he was living. That her understanding, ruminating on his story and what he has told and the effect that he's had on people and her relationship with him and the effect that that had on her journey and her life. She said, our relationship is stronger now than it ever was. And like, it doesn't have to be a finale for us. It's a big thing.
Yeah. Finn, how about you?
The thing that Neve said, that the quote from Zach, you don't have to find out you're dying to start living, that's profound and resonates throughout every single moment of the film. Although there is this other message that's connected, of course, just to focus on the little things and small gestures of kindness. That was something Zach was all about, and being able to tap into his headspace, I saw that start to manifest itself into like my daily behavior. And I hope that that has the same effect on people who watch this film, valuing those small moments, like, calling your grandma and telling her that you love her, that just like little things like that. Zach made those special moments, and saw the value that they possessed and made sure that he made those moments for every member of his family, all of his friends. He had an immense responsibility in, the final year of his life to make sure that he made the most of it while he could. And I think he did just that. But it doesn't have to be grand gestures. It just has to be being present with the people that you love, and valuing the gift that is waking up in the morning and being able to experience another day.
It's wonderful. Well, I want to say thank you both so much for taking the time to chat with me. You're both so wonderful in this film, and I can't wait for everyone to see it.
Thank you so much.